There are so many ways in this company that things are upside down. For example, Andrew Hawkins just told me that he did something at the dollar store, and while he was telling me this, Chris Cody, child of nepotism, was getting his elbows lotioned by the makeup woman. And I'm like, this place doesn't work correctly. But that's not the greatest example I have of it. I've heard all my life, and maybe, Andrew, you've lived this. I've lived this recently. More money, more problems.
Preach.
But I've never heard of more awards, more problems. Our company is winning all sorts of awards. Like, we crushed these podcast awards, and everyone at the company's fighting over them.
Wow. What podcast awards?
Well. First of all, the biggest winner. I mean, these are the most prestigious of the podcast awards. Is the answer to your question?
Okay.
The very most prestigious of the awards.
Do they call them the potties?
I don't know the name, but they're just known as the most prestigious awards. And Stugotz beat everybody in the football category, and no one's happy for him. Wait. He beat everybody. He beat Shannon Sharp. He beat Schefter. He beat every football name. He beat the Tomahawk podcast.
Wow.
Mina,
Lenny,
Diana Rossini.
Everybody.
Well, how is this possible?
Shannon Sharp, the Kelseys. He beat everybody.
That's amazing.
Demand a recount.
Real quick question. So you say the podcast awards, but there's not a name. What is the name? I'm looking at all the.
Let's go with the potties.
The potties. Yeah.
Okay.
Best. Right. The name is Best American Football Podcast.
Oh.
Okay.
That's the best. I don't know if there's a football podcast that's not American that's better than this one. I doubt it.
The American Football Best American Football Podcast.
It's the Sports Podcast Awards, but I believe they're
Sports
called
Podcast Awards.
kind of as a diminutive, the potties.
Like, you would think when somebody like in our company wins an award like this, you'd see emails of congrats. No, it's like they stuffed the ballot. This is bullshit. I can't believe the emails and the Slack channels that I've been reading the last few days.
Because it's Stugotz, right? Let's be clear. This isn't like Meadowlark people eating each other, right? We don't trust Stugotz. We think there's fraud.
Don't do we. I think this is deserving. I think
trust
it's
Stugotz.
creative.
Wait,
no.
are you saying you trust? There you go.
No.
I said we don't trust Stugotz.
I don't trust Stugotz.
There you go.
I do trust that he's got the Best American Football Podcast.
Okay, I don't trust that. I don't trust the potties. Sports Podcast Awards, the SPAs.
The potties.
Is what we're calling it, the SPAs.
Again, you guys want to argue about the name instead of celebrating the accomplishment.
I like spas.
It's real hater behavior. Put it on the poll, Juju. Do you like spas?
Let me just ask you. Would you rather imagine, or do you imagine Stugotz to be at a spa or on the potty?
You know what? Let's actually not put that poll out there with the whole Justin Tucker stuff going on.
Yeah, it's smarter. Look, I love Stugotz. Don't know if he has the Best American Football Podcast.
He does.
I'm a big football guy.
The way
you know that about
the
me.
way this is measured is he just got announced as having the Best American Football Podcast, so therefore he has the Best American Football Podcast.
From the SPAs.
Not from you guys are making fun of this. It's from the most prestigious of the pod-giving organizations, the award-winning organizations.
The potty.
Who is on the committee? Can we get a little research? I need insight.
All right, you guys got questions. I'd like to celebrate first with balloons, with an acceptance speech, with a call that will show the inner office turmoil. In fact, just start the show.
This is gross.
Yeah, so just start the show. Don't play the call. Just start the show so I can get to the call.
Where are we getting balloons from?
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the walking. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls let it tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the sheets. We can't go out, man, forget about peace. You take the west, I'll take on the east. I'ma put them in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man, so tough, but man's keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. Right guys, let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
Andrew, can you help me? Because Samson wants to come on and talk about the awards and the voting. Pablo wants to come on to talk about the awards and the voting. Billy and Stugotz don't need to come on, aren't even here today, aren't even here to accept their award.
Yeah.
They're used to this. They've won it before. Do I allow Pablo and Samson to soil what should be a happy day around here by just getting in the way of things?
Yes, you should. It should be soiled on. I think I'm excited. I'm excited for the awards. Congratulations, Stugotz. Can I start by saying that? Although I'm not starting, I kind of went in a different direction already, but I want to say congratulations. I do have questions about what the hell we're talking about.
This is not how award ceremonies work, though, where it's like, congratulations, but I have an assortment of questions. That is
exactly how the Golden Globes work.
Or if you're Kanye West, that's how it works.
It's the antithesis of award giving and receiving, to just ask questions in the middle
I just
of it.
want to know how happy I should be.
Very.
Why?
Because he won the Best American Podcast.
You guys,
Football podcast.
I've been on this show so many times. Not a single time have I come on here and been introduced as a Cambria County Sports Hall of Famer.
Oh, that's true.
You've never associated Hall of Fame with my name.
That's correct.
You know why? Because it matters who the hell is calling you a Hall of Famer.
No, it doesn't.
So I'm all for awards. Okay, if that's the case, I don't ever want to show up here without being described as a Hall of Famer.
I am more interested in the American and Best American Football Podcast. Is that Best American Football Podcast or is that Best American Football Podcast? Meaning, is there a Greek football podcast that's way better than Stugotz's, but it's competing?
Like it's Mina's.
Is that
You have to make
perhaps?
that. You have to make that correction because the rest of the world doesn't care about our American football.
But Dan, you're making an assumption that
Right,
the American here is signifying that it's American football, the sport, as opposed to American
the citizen.
football podcast.
Yeah.
Like it could be
He was
maybe
in a category with.
there might be a Canadian football podcast.
Yeah, they probably had Shay Shay and Black American.
Best African American.
Best African American. Yeah. Okay.
There goes
Now
my
we're getting
African-American.
down to somewhere. Now this is starting to come together.
No, this is
Two Americas.
this is not Meadowlark celebrating Stugotz's achievement. And furthermore, I will tell you, we have a great deal of in-house tension. Pablo also won an award. David Samson finished third. He's
Deserved.
mad. Which one? Third is
Pablo.
Okay, because
Stugotz deserved third.
David Samson finished third, and he's mad about it. But we had to do some reporting. Some journalism has fallen apart. But at Meadowlark, we're still doing the occasional journalism. We've got sort of a tape that we shouldn't have. We've got, Mike, I need your help here. I don't know if Christopher Poe, our lawyer, has looked into this or not, because I don't think we're allowed to play this, and we have to protect the producer because I don't think the producer knows that we were recording him. And so we're going to have to distort his voice on stuff we've found out that Pablo has done in order to win awards.
I don't think that covers you legally, but go ahead. Shoot
Okay,
your
I
shot.
think that preface covers me legally. See if you can distort that real quick. We have found we've got a whistleblower in the business who has sent us audio that he or she recorded of a producer of Pablo's.
Holy shit. I can't listen to that song again. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, I want to go, but I can't. Pablo. No, I know. It's not just me. He's got 4 producers. Yeah, four producers and then 2 editors just for Emmy submissions. And then the other, 25 producers working on some story about, funerals, God knows what, spreading ashes, Mark Zuckerberg, who knows what the hell he wants to talk about. 75 producers on the show. Can we, in soccer, they, loan out players to other teams? Can we loan a producer to David Samson? Poor guy has 2 people, maybe? I got an idea. Pablo Torre finds out whether he could be a parent. Go home. Stop trying to, win awards. Do this. It's ridiculous. I've had enough. I'm telling you. There's an entire spreadsheet, shot by shot, for Best Host Sizzle Reel. And I'm like, my God, we're going to spend 45 minutes on just this one thing. When what we could be doing is maybe loaning a producer to David Samson. David Samson has 2 producers. Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah. No, I gotta get back. It's Pablo time.
Samson has 1 producer. He doesn't have 2 producers. And Pablo does indeed have 4 producers and 2 editors just for Emmy submissions. That is factual. I've seen the budgets.
I thought when that audio started playing, it was Shannon Sharp's.
It was Dan.
I'm like, whoa.
I think we distorted it too much. I think
there was a lot
we
of
protected
distortion.
the identity of the producer a little too much.
I seized on the cadence.
I can't see
Refuse to believe Stugotz has a better football podcast than Mina.
Did you have a lot
all
of
I'm saying.
situations, Andrew, where people in your locker room weren't happy for the successes of others?
Yeah. No, that's
You played in
valid.
Cleveland. There wasn't
Yeah.
much success
Yeah, it
for
was-
you guys.
Yeah, the other teams. We were jealous of the other teams' success. No, this is around the conversation of Cam Newton saying he wouldn't trade his MVP for a Super Bowl, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you would say that." And I'm like, I kind of can. I mean, I think that makes sense. So Stugotz getting his personal achievement over Meadowlark winning the best podcast company. You know what? We should celebrate it because personal achievement is okay. And I don't like the war that's going on against personal achievement.
Well, let's talk about what it is that Cam said, Amin, because we had this conversation the other day, and Amin said the reasons for motivations among athletes, the top one is winning.
Nope.
I'm sorry, the top one is money.
Yes.
And then the second one, he was saying is winning, and I was saying that his third one, which is being the reason for winning, is closer to money than people understand. And so when Cam is saying, I'd rather be MVP and have an enduring legacy of that 1 year, I was the best in the sport, then my team was the best in the sport, I understand both how he comes by that appraisal and why fans would crush him as the selfish black athlete for having that appraisal.
The original version of this question is, would you rather be Charles Barkley or Robert Horry? That was the genesis of this whole question in sports debate. Would you rather be Charles Barkley, MVP of the league, top 75 all time,
Right.
Hall of Famer, or would you rather be Robert Horry with 7 rings? And Robert Horry shut the book on that one by saying, I'd rather be Charles Barkley than Robert Horry. What are you kidding? Like, to legitimately say, almost every night I stepped on the floor, I was the best player in the gym, in the world, in the building. That is a feeling that very few get to feel versus, yes, Robert Horry won championships. Yes, he was a contributor, not just like kind of riding the pine.
Yeah.
It's like, it wasn't because of me, not like Barkley, you know?
It's the greatest American spin is what this is. And I'm not against team sports. I'm not against team success. Like, that is the goal. The goal is to do both, to be the best in the world and also let the fact that you are so good at what you do create a champion in your entire team. But nobody in America is going to work their whole life at something, a passion, and be like, I'd rather do it for my company. That's the thing that people miss is that athletes really, I mean, yes, we all want to win the championship because, again, it's another signal that we're the best at something. But when you distill it down, it's you working for your company. And you're not going to trade your company's success for your own legacy. You know why you hardly ever hear about MVP trophies being sold on eBay?
That's such a good point. That is
Do you know why? Think about that. Why you've never heard, this MVP is hard on money, and they're selling their MVP trophy.
I mean, Cam has been a little transparent recently about his financial issues, but I
He ain't
guess
selling the trophy?
my best guess would be because MVPs typically make a lot more money.
Bingo. Right? Because it's a lot harder for an MVP to run out of money than it is somebody who was a part of a 70-person roster with a ring. Again, this is not an indictment on championships for organizations and teams. That's what this is all about. But for the athletes as well, like, yeah, I don't like the fact that it's a bad thing to feel like you're the best in the world. Like Josh Allen is another good example. If he does win an MVP, it's like, you shouldn't be happy about that. What the hell are you talking about? You dream about this stuff since you're 4 years old. Yes. Yes, you should be trying to win a Super Bowl, Josh. But if you win an MVP, feel good about it.
Yeah.
I want to bring up a couple of things here. I thought about some of that for about 10 years when Ricky Williams' Heisman was in my father's garage, and I would go in there, and he eventually sold that Heisman. But your point overall is well taken on the best player in the world. Once you get that trophy, you don't often see that. You don't often see that sold. But I wanted to ask you if you were interested particularly in the differences between how it is Lamar Jackson was criticized after a Mark Andrews drop versus the soft cushion of I feel so bad for him that Josh Allen fell on when Kincaid dropped the ball. Like, was that something that you noticed, how the differences there were obvious?
Yes, I'm sure I noticed it. I don't know if I really dialed in. It's what I expected. The Mark Andrews catch was probably 10x easier than the Dalton Kincaid catch. Like that, and I don't even like the fact that people act like that was an easy catch for Dalton Kincaid. It wasn't. It was an incredible play by Josh to give him a play, and it was a harder degree of difficulty than the Lamar throw. And it's like people will nitpick about anything, but regardless, maybe I don't feel a way about it because with Lamar, I know how hard Lamar is on himself. Like Lamar has been so consistent in his approach to the game, and I've spent time around him, and it is not fake at all. He genuinely only gives a damn about a Super Bowl. And that's what makes him an anomaly. He has never talked about being an MVP, being the best in the league. I'm sure that stuff is in the back of his mind, but even in his personal conversations that I've been around and a witness to, all he cares about is winning a Super Bowl. And that's because I think he grew up here in South Florida, and that's also all the youth football players here care about. Like when I play with kids from South Florida in the NFL, they don't talk about college. They talk about when they were playing against Pompano or Tamarack and it's like a point of pride. I never understood it till I got here. So for Lamar, truly, the Super Bowl does represent something else, and he's going to be that hard critic on himself too.
Pablo and David Samson are here. Just before we get to that, not only did Robert Horry say what Amin said, he said, Charles Barkley also came on with us and said, I'd rather have my career than Robert Horry's. But Robert Horry saying it after winning that many championships, it did end the debate on this show.
I take Charles's career. When you come into this league, you always want to win a championship, but you also want to be considered one of the best of all time. He's always going to be considered one of the best of all times. You know, even though he never won a championship, he got there but didn't win one. He's an all-star. He's a Hall of Famer. You know, he's a great sportscaster. So, you know, I will have to take, Charles' career. Even though I won championships, I still take Charles' career because you can't take anything away from him because he didn't win championships.
You know the concept of the Ouroboros, a snake that eats its own tail? That was me quoting Robert Horry, which I did not realize happened on this show.
That's correct. So here is David Samson. He was shaking his head throughout that sound. He is here to tell us that second place is the first loser, third place is the second loser. I was telling him how proud I was that he has America's third best baseball podcast. He did not want to hear about how he should be proud today of having America's third best baseball podcast. David, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dan. That's very nice of you to say that you are proud. We did have the number one best baseball podcast last year and the number one best business podcast last year, all nothing personal. And then somehow we got Metal Art this year, and Pablo took over the sports business category and was recognized as having the best sports business podcast, except that's the one I'm on, called The Sporting Class. And Nothing Personal now is the third best baseball podcast. I'm here to tell you that makes me a loser. There's nothing to be proud of, and I'm thrilled to death with everything I've won. But yesterday I was not a winner.
Pablo?
Is this your way of saying thanks for winning 2 first place awards at the Sports Podcast Awards? Is this why I'm being called in? Hi. I don't know why anyone's mad at me, frankly. So what's going on?
You've got a lot of producers, and they spend their days making Emmy nominations, filling out forms.
So this is actually a helpful moment, I guess, to clarify. The award I won, first of all, Samson's, I guess, mad that the JPEG on the award for Sporting Class was my show logo. Sorry that the JPEG is not David Samson's face, I guess. I will apologize for that. I'm not going to apologize for the producers on my show. The award that I won was Best Sports Documentary Podcast. I don't know if you guys know what a documentary is, but it's not you call someone after they call, to expect congratulations after dropping off their daughter at school, to yell at them. It's an award that you get for having high degree of difficulty episodes you produce every week. So cool party I just walked into.
David, please tell me what your objection is to Meadowlark. Go ahead.
I just don't understand what Pablo is trying to do when I'm aware of the resources that are given to Pablo to help him win. The fact is that he's got groups of people who do nothing but make sure that he's nominated and wins awards. And that's fine, Pablo. And you can look at the structure of what you do and you can have your Pablo Torre finds out. But how many times do you ask that I am helpful to do the sporting class, everyone, and that wins, but then it's your thumbnail that does it, and then you're the one who's tagged. So you didn't win just one gold medal, you won two gold medals.
I did. A big part of this, I think, is that David Samson, who is very good on the sporting class, an episode that I host, not coincidentally, is he has no idea how the internet works. So David was mad at me yesterday for tagging John Skipper, but the wrong John Skipper on Instagram. And he sent me a screenshot of John's Twitter account to point out that I clearly tagged the wrong one, not knowing that Twitter and Instagram, or X and Instagram, are two separate platforms. So when David says you have all these producers, I think he literally means sometimes you have someone else who understands what the internet is. And in this case, that person,
no, Pablo.
That person was me.
Don't tell me what I mean. Don't tell me what I mean, Pablo. What I mean is actually you've got myriad people working because Meadowlark gives you all these people to do all this stuff, and it's me and Coca. That's it. Oh, by the way, we do it every day. And it takes you weeks to do one show. Oh, but it's very in-depth because you find out crap.
So I'm walking the streets of New York, and I can maybe find some actual metaphorical comparison points. Right here is a very fancy restaurant. It's best in class, incredible elevated French food. And over there somewhere is a hot dog stand. And I feel like the hot dog stand is yelling at the French restaurant for having too many employees.
That's great, Pablo.
Wait a second.
You're calling what we do a hot dog stand.
I love hot dogs. Yeah. It's just not best documentary at the Sports Podcast Awards.
That's fine.
Pablo,
Dan, we're good here. We're good here, Dan, because you now know. At least now we know what we're dealing with is that Pablo he's so highfalutin. He is so condescending toward nothing personal and toward what we do. And it just manifested itself with a description and a comparison that should make you as nauseous as that hot dog. Look at all these wins I've had, Pablo. You don't see me out there with all medals and rings every single day.
Those are credentials, by the way. You got some credentials.
This is sad.
No, by the way,
Sloan Sports Analytics credential.
Where are we in life where David Samson has become the everyman who's railing against the elite?
What are you wearing? How many rings do you have there?
You won one World Series, yet you're wearing 3 of the same World Series championship ring.
Please give those players their rings.
Which corpse did you raid to get those rings?
He's the one buying the rings off of eBay.
You're trying to alter history. You only won one title. This is ridiculous. It's 3 of the same kind of ring.
Look, see?
Hold on, Mikey. This is the All-Star Game ring, which is really cool.
Wait, you got a ring for hosting an All-Star game?
All-Stars get a ring every year. If you're an All-Star, you get a ring. And this is a ring that was for being a 2017 All-Star, and I did get one because we hosted it. This is the Marlins World Series ring, but I have several.
Can I get a cup of coffee? And do you have the third place baseball podcast? just a black coffee. I'm sorry. You're actually a hardworking person. Just small. Yeah. Do you mind if can you say hello to my friends here?
Okay, there it is. Hello, sir. Yes.
This is the second place baseball podcast.
Oh, come on.
Coca.
He's great.
David, what are your problems with Meadowlark? Are they just related to giving Pablo more support than you?
No, I think that we have a weird.
Thank you, sir.
We have Pablo.
I know.
It's a
big award. Thank you so much.
The general riffraff, please.
He just congratulated me, so I just wanted to tell him, thank you.
Yeah, we caught all that.
Oh, okay.
You were saying, Samson?
Just wanted to make sure.
The problem. Pablo trying to be popular by befriending his coffee man in the cart on the street who has no idea
honestly,
who
guys,
he is.
Honestly,
None.
guys, I'm walking around here like Belle and Beauty of the Beast. People are popping out of their windows to say hello.
All right.
Like
All right,
a guy with a
Put your head up
baguette
and
just rolled by.
Shades on.
It's
All right,
incredible.
let's let Pablo go, and let's make no mention of the fact that he stole the sporting class from me. I was doing that with Samson and Skipper beforehand. Congratulations to Pablo, and how do you do this?
Push maybe.
Yeah.
You just broke it.
Work it out, Dan.
I just broke it. I was congratulating our confetti poppers. Don't really work particularly well.
Take the cap off.
There it
feels
is.
like a
Thank you.
metaphor.
Yes, there
That
it is.
feels like another metaphor.
Congratulations
Yeah, very good.
to Pablo for his big win in the whatever categories they
Is it a
were.
pull or a push? What
There's
is it?
tape on it.
And
Congrats to Samson too for
and
hosting the All-Star game
congratulations,
that year. That's amazing.
David. Thank you for being on with us, and congratulations. You should be happy about third place. Third place is good.
Third place is for losers.
It's incorrect.
Careful,
thank you.
Hard to disagree with
Careful.
All right. Goodbye. See you later.
that.
Thank
Love you guys.
you.
Go Meadowlark. Woohoo,
Yes,
we did it.
we got the letters that we got here in balloons came incomplete. We didn't get all of the letters. That's why everything around here is misspelled. We got a bad batch of balloons.
Dan, I just want to point to Chris Cody, who's trying to get the popper to work, and he's using some methods that. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
he was using some methods. I was just careful. We're on camera.
If we were Mason Cameron, we would have been like,
That's
crazy.
Hey, yo, Chris, what are you doing?
I actually
That's
appreciate that in that instance when I was feeling really vulnerable, trying to pull, push, not knowing how a confetti cannon works, thinking it was my fault. And then I looked around the room and all of you were struggling with the confetti cannons.
I don't even know if those are confetti cannons. I think they're just containers of confetti. Now that I
Mine just opened up and spilled out slowly.
yes, that's
This company, what I learned, has just a tone issue.
Yeah.
Okay? They're not nice to each other. Tone, mean. I'm finding the entire company with the Venmo fine bucket. It's brought to you by Venmo. Everybody owes $5 at the entire company for this tone with these awards. Oh, I don't like it. We should be celebrating each other. $5 Venmo tone fine for everyone at the
I'm
show.
owed $30 for winning Who Dat Is every week.
Everyone.
Okay, here's the thing though. No one's respecting this bucket, and you, as I'm proud of you for being a leader, trying to make people and trying to enforce the rules. But you just made an edict, and no one reached for their phones.
Hold on.
I will again be the
not paying
only
that.
one paying this fine.
I'm owed. Look, take it out of my $30 that is
No,
owed
see,
to me
you
for
guys are
guessing
doing this
Cooper
all wrong.
DeJean
I'm
right.
so fed up with
Dan,
this.
I take offense to you saying no one respects the Venmo fine bucket. I highly respect it. We got a QR code. We scan it. We enter it in. It takes 2 seconds to put the money in. I've been contributing. I thought everybody else was. This is news to me.
It's just Greg Cody that's not. Everyone else is paying.
Amin, do you think that Hawkins is paying? Because I don't believe that Hawkins has paid a fine yet.
I don't think I've ever been fined.
I don't think he's been
Well,
fined.
you just got fined $5. He
it
just
happened.
you were the one asking. When we're celebrating awards, you're like, I have questions. You did real dismissively. Hey, real happy for you. Congratulations. Wow. But however, let me bring my an assortment of questions to you.
Now there's a war on clarity. That's the thing, right? You can't even have real context of what the hell you're celebrating.
These are the most prestigious awards. It's all you need to know.
Okay, well, I don't say congratulations unless I'm impressed, and I need to have context to be impressed. I do not think he has a better football podcast than Mina Kimes. So let's all continue to do the mental gymnastics to figure out how this happened. That's all I'm asking.
I got Hawkins getting up on that stage as Stugotz is accepting the award and saying, hold on. I just want to say, Mina Kimes is one of the greatest podcasts of all time. Shrugging. And
Yes.
wandering off the stage with a bottle of
Shout out to Lenny.
Again, Mina Kimes, not one of the greatest football podcasts
Third
of all
best.
time.
That.
Okay,
Come
so
on, man.
It's
okay.
Nightcap.
Yes.
I mean, you could be
Is Nightcap, hold on, is that Shannon Sharp and
Ocho.
Chad?
you could be bummed that Anatomy of a Fall didn't win Best Picture, but that doesn't make it Best Picture.
Fair enough. I stand corrected, or I sit corrected. It is one of the best, but it's not the best. The best is Stugotz. The best is Billy. Billy couldn't receive the award. Are you guys aware what Billy's doing? Because I love that Anarchist Billy is doing this quietly because he's the only one in the company who would do this quietly. He has gone to Cartersville, Georgia to celebrate the incorrect anniversary date of Billy Gill Day. It's supposed to be the 5-year anniversary, but it's not actually, but he made the plans, and they're doing it. So Billy Gill Day is in Cartersville, Georgia today. He's flying with his family for the weekend to celebrate Billy Gill Day. No one else at this company would do it quietly. He can't pick up his award for producing the best American football podcast.
Because he's celebrating his own day. What is the population in this town?
I want more information on Cartersville, please. I'd like to know more as he continues to question the accolades of
I'd like
others.
to see if I should be impressed.
You
Thank you.
He got a day. Look, you just made it so that your Hall of Fame was not impressive, and I would say all the Hall of Fames. You get into a Hall of Fame, you've done something.
You've never said that to me.
I'm telling you right
I
now.
prompted you to give me that.
Well, because I didn't know you
compliment.
were in any Hall of Fames. You played for the Browns.
You should assume.
I'm seeing the population in Cartersville is 24,937.
Okay.
You want to diminish that?
I'm just saying. Just get the look at me Louie button ready. All right?
Oh,
What do you
boy.
mean, look at
He
me,
says-
Louie, buddy?
he
Okay,
says
because
warm it up.
wait, that's not it. Warmed up.
He didn't say press it. He said get it warmed up
It's
because
nice and hot now. There's an Andrew Hawkins Day. That's all I'm saying.
there it is. Now you can hit it.
Where?
Hit it, please. Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Located in Cambria County.
Where you're
Is
a
it
Hall of
bigger
Famer.
than Cartersville? Is that bigger than Cartersville?
It's not. I think we're at roughly a 17,000 person
Okay, so admittedly, a
population.
less impressive day
Yes.
than Billy Gill's. And you didn't do it quietly. You felt the need to tell us right there.
I'm just letting you know that's where my bar is.
Okay, so he's done better than your bar, but he did it quietly. I admire the way that he did that. There's no way any of you would have done that quietly. He's going with his whole family for the weekend.
I have sources up there. There's no way you could guess who it was. He says, my source tells me that there's a town hall ceremony planned this afternoon, and then afterwards, bowling with Billy.
Hawk, I'm sorry. I asked ChatGPT when is Andrew Hawkins Day, and they said that there is no official Andrew Hawkins Day. I was like, please clarify, was he honored with his own day? This is the answer. As of now, there is no official day recognized by any governmental or official body as Andrew Hawkins Day. The designation of October 20th as Andrew Hawkins Day is a personal initiative by Andrew Hawkins himself, celebrated informally on social media.
Holy shit. Oh, my God.
I have a declaration from Mayor Tregonia for October 20th, 2011 for Andrew Hawkins Day. My family celebrates that every year.
Apparently, according to advanced computers, it is a personal initiative celebrated by you yourself informally on social media.
This is shocking to have happen on live television. This is so embarrassing
It has
for him.
an official government seal on it.
Not
This
the internet's not backing you up, pal.
this is the part of the movie where we realize the character that they wanted us to believe was the fraud, Stugotz. It's not him, actually. The call is coming from inside the building.
Wow.
Yeah,
of course.
You've got to provide proof before the,
Black
end of
guy
the
is
show.
the fraud.
Look,
I should have seen this
telling
coming.
you what the computers
I
are
should have
saying.
seen it coming a mile away.
Are you saying
The black guy is the scam
AI
artist.
racially biased? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I pressed it.
I think everybody knows that
it
AI
said
is
at
racially
first it was like
biased.
no, but then it had the very cutting remark of a personal
Yeah.
initiative by
Like,
Andrew
what
Hawkins
the hell
himself.
is that AI? Why couldn't they,
Congrats.
first off, if it was a personal achievement, why would they make the decision not to even acknowledge it? And then when you, are you sure? He's like, all right, so there's this thing he makes up on social media, but I'm not even going to act like it's a real thing.
I can't make what I'm about to say up because I can't believe that this is happening on live television. Mike, what was the name of the coach before Nick Saban who lost his job over a resume error on his way to Alabama? And there were stories, not confirmed, that during moments that were private, he would yell "Roll Tide" in intimate situations. I was never able to prove that, but I'm forgetting the name of the coach. It wasn't O'Leary, was it?
No, George O'Leary did lie on his resume, but there was another coach, an Alabama coach, Mike Price.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he lied on his resume, and his career fell apart. And we just saw something that is going to demand proof from Andrew Hawkins, or his career is going to be in trouble. That he's been talking about Andrew Hawkins Day to everyone who will listen, and computers are accusing him of making the whole
Well,
thing
this is
up.
how we make AI stronger because AI has been wrong before, and I've had to correct it.
AI is racist, man. And I'm not talking Allen Iverson.
No, DEI is racist.
Yep.
This is ridiculous. Now I'm scrambling through my files to try to.
You're going to have to prove this in the next couple of hours because this has the potential to be explosive and career damaging because it's already happened. It's going to get aggregated now. It's going to be a whole thing where Andrew Hawkins is a liar and a promising and wonderful media career.
Look, I found an article, and I'm going to
look at this. Finally, we've got documentation.
Well, where's the seal?
I don't see.
It's right there, bottom left.
That's not a seal.
That could we zoom in on the seal, please?
That is not a real seal.
That's just a printout, man.
No, we gotta zoom in on the embossed seal.
There it is.
From Mayor Thomas Tregonia in Johnstown, on behalf of our city council and all of our citizens, extend to Andrew this expression of our esteem and our very best wishes and thanks to him and his family. Andrew Hawkins Day. Mayor of that city.
Are we willing to take that as proof? Does Andrew Hawkins get to do a victor? Does he get to do a
government proclamation with a? This doesn't feel a little racially biased.
Judges,
that even my document.
All right, that is not a real seal. This is a real seal. This is clearly a real seal right here. That is not a real seal.
That's the only racially seal that you're going to accept here. Wow.
Big news. ChatGPT has capitulated.
All right.
I sent it the article.
Congratulations.
And it apologized.
Congratulations.
Look at that. It's all, the apology's never as loud as the accusation.
I surmise that he did indeed have his own official day, and it's not celebrated by himself.
No, but you're going to get to take a victory lap right now. We're going to go into the other room. We're going to give Andrew Hawkins the stage. We're going to give him the platform to say whatever he wants. He has been discriminated against by computers and by me. He was indeed questioned, but now we have an official proclamation from a mayor of some sort. And I again will ask the group, are any of you surprised that Billy Gill is doing this weekend? He doesn't want to leave his home to interact with people. Like, I don't, he advocated for house arrest the other day as a better way of living. And he has gotten up, taken his family quietly to celebrate himself on a day. And I think it's because he needs to be away from us where things are not celebrated together.
Wait, it's our fault?
I think he wants to be in a place where people will celebrate who he is and his achievements. Meadowlark is not that place.
For the record, there was no hesitation from ChatGPT when I asked about Billy Gill Day. It knew it right away.
Can you give me more information on both Billy Gill Day and Cartersville? I'd like to know about this city that he was in. I wanted to send people with him, but he wanted to do it more quietly. He wanted to do it more humbly, and so I wanted the content of it. He did not want to share the content. I'm sure it'll be his private brand management.
Was it he wanted it to do it quietly and humbly, or he just didn't want any of us around?
Some information for you. The mayor of Cartersville used to be a co-host of the Lauer After Hours podcast.
I don't believe that is right, what you're doing there. You're undermining Billy Gill's day as the one who
you said facts. You want facts about this.
I said I wanted facts about Cartersville, not facts that undermine this particular
Not undermining
event.
It's just a fact.
It's a historic city with a rich and cultural natural heritage. It's got the Savoy Automobile Museum there. The first outdoor painted Coca-Cola wall advertisement was in Cartersville, Georgia.
There's got to be something about slavery in there.
Actually, there is plantations,
or something.
It's the home of Sam P. Jones.
We actually have good news regarding racism. The Attorney General under Ulysses S. Grant, Amos Ackerman, was from Cartersville and spearheaded the federal prosecution of members of the Ku Klux Klan. So, from Cartersville, getting rid of KKK members. That's really exciting.
And Atlanta, you get your drinking water from Cartersville. So there's that.
So congratulations to Billy Gill. This is Billy Gill Day. This is officially throughout the land Billy Gill Day. He's got America's Best Football podcast. Took out Shannon Sharp. Took out everybody. And everybody who's talking about football, no one's doing it better than Stugotz and Billy and whatever Gronkowski is on their show. And now we go out to Andrew Hawkins, and here it is. Here is his victory lap. Congratulations, Andrew. I'm sorry I called you a bit of a phony.
It's okay. I forgive you. Shout out to Peloton as I'm taking my victory lap through God's country, also known as Johnstown, Pennsylvania, population of roughly 19,000. As I sit here over top as Johnstown, Pennsylvania's favorite son, the home of also Jack Ham, who does not have his own day. I actually don't know, but I'm sure if you check ChatGPT, Mike, they would say he has 7 days because he is not black. And They won't discredit it without the proclamation and official seal. Shout out to Billy Gill, okay, for your day. Because now that I see the way this company approaches people who have, through their esteemed accomplishments, had their own holiday in their honor, I now understand that I was mistaken for trying to find out the population of your city. It is an incredible honor. Congrats to you and your family. And congrats on your big spa, your spa award, your potty award. Congrats on using the potty, Billy. I'm very proud of you. Shout out to Peloton. And most importantly, and I'll end with this, shout out to me, right? Everybody. Look at me, Louie, baby.
All right, but you're not really running. You were fake running.
No, I'm running.
You're not running. That's
I'm a very smooth runner.
I won't lie, Hawk. I'm watching you, and I'm waiting to hear the voice cha-cha real smooth. Turn it out.
You're not doing that correctly.
Turn again.
This is how I run.
To the left.
Victory Lap is brought to you by Peloton. Find your push, find your power with Peloton.
You were bored line dancing.
Crisscross. There's no official Jack Ham day.
Why does no one understand that the whole payoff on this bit is you're winded while you're talking? Like, why does no one understand that?
I've been running for 4 minutes. What took you so long to come to me?
Well, now, cha-cha, real smooth now.
Greetings to all. Welcome to 2022. Omicron is on the run, and away it went. But oops, there goes gravity, and here comes a new variant. Omaha, Corona, Hut 1, Hut 2, nothing infects the Super Bowl, and nothing stops football.
Racism, greed, trauma to brain and spine. And yet, I cannot look away. Heroes are dead. Science has their heads. Oh, is there no escape from here? I need to know. It eats my soul. Nothing stops the NFL. Is this heaven or hell? I can't tell. It's human cockfighting. CTE prayer circles. They blackballed the blackballer. They tried to end racism by stenciling it in the end zone. Billionaire boys using millionaires as toys. It's all immoral, all unethical. Ooh, the witching hour. Nothing stops the NFL. Is this heaven or hell? I can't tell. It's Urban and Snyder and Flores and Gruden, but Kyler, but Kelsey, but Cooper, but Canty. It's cheating and tanking and bounties and banking, but
all in? I'm a fan of the Jets. I'm a fan of the Jets. Oh, no. The Jets. The Jets. Why this team? The Jets! The Jets!
Stugotz, what's the matter, buddy?
I mean, just one time. I mean, 40 years I've been rooting for this team, and just one time I wanted my team to play in that big game in that beautiful dome in Los Angeles.
Dome? What about the elements? Back in my day, we didn't play in a dome. Let me tell you, back in my day, we considered football to be an honorable game. We didn't have to pass the ball every single play, and that's how we did it back in my day. It's the cold in December and sweltering two-a-days. It's embracing occasional puns, and don't get me started on instant replay. Now we're cooking with gas. Watch out! I'm not done, by the way. Let me tell you, back in my day, there was no showboating. We respected the game. We sat on a stoop and let the radio play, 'cause that's how we did it back in my day. It's the wishbone I wish for. It's a toss to red grain. It's a first down without a taunt. Playing the game the right way. Whoa! No retractable roofs. I'm talking frozen tundras and ice bowls. No back Brooklyn. That's why they call it football weather. Bud Grant and the Purple People Eaters, ladies and gentlemen. That's how they played the game back in my day. It's Len Dawson enjoying a smoke and a brew during a game. It's Hank Stram wearing a sports coat. Legalize the clothesline and bring back drop kicks while you're at it. I'm Greg Cody, and that's how it was back in my day. Ba-da-ba-diddly-up. Bop. Ba-da-ba-diddly-up. Bop. Bop. That kind of thing.
Thanks for the lift, bro.
No problem.
Yo, what is this? Is the musical? Turn it down, man. Like, I'm so tired of it. Musicals are corny. The shit is corny. Like, me tiene hasta aquí with this musical stuff, man. Just turn it down. I want to just chill, man, for real.
I feel you, bruh. I used to be that same way. Then my dog Andrew Lloyd Webber touched my soul with Phantom. And I quickly realized that, man, musicals, they're the highest form of theatrical art that there is, my brother. Think about it.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes. Very low percentage.
Closed his eyes, made a wish. Still McCarthy said goodbye. Is Schottenheimer Jerry's guy? We're gonna contemplate all through the night. 1% chance of smiles. There's a guy Chicago can, but behind him we will stand. All of the hope he'll bring if he's up to the task. I'll take Eberflus. Yeah, he's got the juice. Get the defense right. Glory hole is in sight. I'll take Eberflus. But if we still lose, then it's ear, nose, and throat time at doctor school. I'll take Eberflus. Yeah, he's got the juice.
I have during this show an assortment of voices in my head already because I'm crazy, but also voices in my head because this is a bit of a control station. And Lewis, 3 notes into that song, said my Glory Hole song was better. Where is Lewis's Glory Hole song?
No, he was just running around singing Popular from Wiccan. Glory Holes. A song about glory holes.
And that is where the appropriate line stopped from his song.
Yeah,
it got
pretty much.
very inappropriate from there. So yeah, that is why we have not gotten
But
to
it was
that.
great.
Okay, but inappropriate is okay. Inappropriate is also funny. Inappropriate, we like to get a little close to inappropriate. I don't think all comedy is appropriate. Yeah.
Workplace and I don't know. It's a fine line, Dan. I mean, you're toying with it, brother. Glory holes at work? I don't like it for Meadowlark. I don't like it for the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be honest with you.
What are we doing? Why are we
Glory holes?
making this? Look, the man made his fortune as a landman. You guys saw the show. All he wants to do is hang out with his family, looking for glory holes. That's all it's about. It's about family.
That is
and glory holes.
Not what I looked up on the internet. I mean, okay,
that's not his fault.
None of it was about family.
Are you uncomfortable right now? I have not
about
seen
glory
you
holes. Yes, I'm very. Am I uncomfortable because we're talking about glory holes?
Jerry Jones was talking about them.
Yeah, that, and you're like, it's okay to be inappropriate. What?
He wasn't being inappropriate. He was talking about glory holes like a landman does.
Hawk doesn't know what you're talking about.
You don't know landman?
No,
Landman?
there's an actual definition for glory holes. It's not the other one.
Let me do this. Landman is a television
that's
show.
Why we did the song.
Landman,
I'm positive that's why we're still on this bid is because we're talking about
what bid?
Landman is a television show on the Paramount Plus network, right?
Okay.
And it's Billy Bob Thornton. It's John Hamm. It's about the people in the oil industry in Texas, right?
Okay. Go on.
And so one of the episodes has a cameo by Jerry Jones, who, of course, made his nut in the oil business, right?
And is that an oil term too?
Made his nut?
Yeah, is that like a
look?
Is there a definition there, Mike? An official for nut made his nut?
Yes, to
okay.
come.
Go ahead. Oh, thank you.
So
we'll ask Andrew Zimmern about that later in the show.
So
yes,
he does this, right? He comes in, he gives this great speech to John Hamm, whose character is in the hospital. He's he had a heart attack, and he's got the beep, the defibrillator, and all that stuff happening in the background.
It's great acting
by Jerry Jones.
Great acting.
He in a room with Billy Bob Thornton and John Hamm.
Yep.
Jerry Jones is the best actor in the room.
Did he know that it was a show?
I don't think so. I think he thought it was a documentary.
Did they think that person was really on his deathbed and he was just giving some words of wisdom and they were like, keep the cameras rolling?
Landman to landman.
Yeah,
there it is.
They totally tricked him.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
And
right?
so he talks about what this business is all about. About your family. I didn't buy the Dallas Cowboys for anything else. I want to work with my kids. I want to surround myself with my kids for the rest of my life. Like, he gives us great, like.
This is acting.
This is acting.
That sounds a lot like Jerry Jones's real life.
He was playing himself. Let's get that clip.
Congratulations.
It's amazing enough acting that it is worth re-exploring, even though it's 2 minutes long, because it's not short, this clip with Jerry Jones. But I do want to show Andrew how well acted this is. So please find that at your earliest convenience. I know, Chris, that I have you spinning a lot of plates today. You will forgive me. I don't know how you've recovered from the arduous first few minutes before the show when you were having your elbows lotioned by the makeup person, something I have never seen before in my history in this business.
I mean, I didn't know I needed it, but apparently this week it's been a thing with Jessie, our lovely makeup artist. She, she told us that, hey, guys, the elbows, not great.
I can't believe this is a company of dry elbows.
She does it all.
2 Americas.
Yeah.
Because there's
wrong.
not a single day
That's
that a black
correct.
person doesn't have to lotion their elbows.
I've never done it before. Before today.
Black people lotion their elbows daily.
Roy, have you ever had anyone at work tell you that your elbows need lotion?
I wear long sleeves.
There you go.
Dan's had Lubriderm CQ behind his desk for 20 years.
I apply it myself, though. I've never had anyone apply it for me.
Yeah, you're a long sleeve man.
Andrew, can you tell me whether a makeup person has ever lotioned your elbows for you? Because I do view that as a luxury I have not seen in the vanity industry before. When I looked up and our executive producer was sitting in that seat with his elbows up, just allowing himself to be lotioned.
Privilege. And again, I don't think, no, the answer is just very plainly, no one's ever lotioned my elbows. But then again, to me, that would be like, has anybody ever brushed your teeth? Because that's how a part of my daily routine lotioning my elbows is.
I mean, a dentist, right?
Okay. No, they've never been like, hey, let me brush your teeth. Absolutely not.
Teeth cleaning.
They never do like the pass with the mechanical brush at the very
fluoride,
end?
the fluoride, a little bit of the fluoride at the end, just to give you a nice touch at the end.
Hog grabs it and says, "I'll take care of that."
Let me brush my teeth.
Does it himself.
It's like jail rules, man. You never let somebody brush your teeth. Never let a man brush your teeth, bro.
Put it on the poll. Are jail rules that you never let another man brush your teeth? I heard you in the other room talking about both being in the dollar store and then soon thereafter you said something about your teeth. Were those two things connected?
Yeah, so I was biting my fingernail right before I went on air at ESPN, and my veneer cracked. I have a veneer, and it cracked in half, and I panicked, and I went to go. There's a Dollar General right by the ESPN studio.
Aye, Captain.
And I went to go get some super glue, and I'm like, this might not be smart. I should Google whether I should put super glue in my mouth. And ChatGPT said no. Again, at the time, I didn't know it was racially biased, so I didn't go too much deeper. But then I said, you know what? Let me see about denture bond. And so I got some denture bond, bonded that thing on.
For $1?
$1. It was $1. It was one of the very few items at the dollar store that are actually $1.
What is that about?
It's wrong.
What have we done?
It's immoral.
Inflation.
It's unethical.
Change the name?
Yes.
$2 store.
Couple Dollar General.
Make it then. Make
$2 General.
$2.
Make the name of your store then. Sorry about inflation. It's more than $1. But
General.
don't tell me it's a dollar store and then just generally lie to me about I can't get anything in here for $1.
Sorry about inflation, General. I don't think that rolls off the tongue.
Understood, but don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Do you ever worry about the quality of the dollar store product?
No, because nowadays they have like the same products as everywhere else.
They do, but
it's more of like.
I'm still a little skeptical. I look at it and it's a brand name, but I'm like, you're in a dollar store.
I mean, when you grow up in places like Johnstown, Pennsylvania, population of 17,000, the Dollar General is not looked at the same way the Dollar General is in other bigger metropolitan areas.
Let me just explain to everybody. I love a dollar store, but not in this incarnation.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Look, there are plenty of people who do their shopping because they enjoy the bargain, and it's not just about buying the thing.
Yeah.
It's about getting it at a good price. You cannot make it a dollar store if you stop charging $1. It ceases to be. I don't want to go into a dollar store anymore if you're going to charge me anything that costs more than $1.
I'll bite. Dan, when was the last time you went to a dollar store?
I went 2 months ago.
What'd you get?
I got an
store?
I got an assortment of stickers, tattoo, temporary tattoos for something.
I
that we're
opened my
trying to do
third
around
Dollar
here.
General in an impoverished neighborhood because money is king. I mean,
and I told the people there who were frustrated with previous dollar stores that I will keep my prices.
You raise these
at $1. It's my whole platform.
You walked in with a cigar and a monocle.
You guys make fun of me, but
this is the perfect location, see?
He was recently in a dollar store. Do you guys not like a dollar store? No one here likes the dollar store?
I love the dollar store.
Okay,
but
we got two.
I haven't been to the dollar store in a bit, but I used to go with my grandma all the time, and it was specifically for the reason you mentioned, Dan, which was she loved a bargain.
Yes, man. And a dollar isn't what it used to be. So it's tough to even trust anything that's $1 nowadays, to be honest. If everything actually cost $1, you probably wouldn't go.
We used to play bingo against each other with pennies, and so when I would win enough pennies, she would take me to the dollar store so that I could buy something. It was the best.
I owe my former Cleveland Browns fandom to a Hialeah dollar store.
Oh, that's right. The plates, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Commemorative plates came from a dollar
They
store.
wouldn't be $1 now.
They'd be 55 cents.
Are you guys not saying that this is
an issue?
Why don't you go ahead and make the joke and not mumble it? No.
It's funny. It's funny.
I mean,
it's funnier to do it like that. Because the Browns aren't good. See.
Okay. See, now you lost me here. I don't like where we're going with this.
The dollar needs to be $1. It needs to be worth $1. And if I'm walking into a store that's called the general store, that's the dollar store.
The what?
I'm sorry.
Genital?
Cut that, please.
All right. You want genital stores and glory holes? We're going to stick to just bargain shopping here, okay, and good football teams. The problem with inappropriate at work. Now, the full circle has come here. Because you're talking about going to a general store. You didn't put $1 in there. You just said general store.
Put it on the poll. Would you go into the genital store at Le Batard Show?
And wanted to see how far $1 went.
It's a
$1 ain't what it used to be at the general store. What, Dan?
That's right.
The hell is wrong with you?
Is $1 what it used to be at the genital store? Is it not false advertising? Like, if I wanted to start a class action lawsuit with lawyers, this is false advertising in commerce if you're charging me more than $1 at the dollar store.
Well, Dan, I think I can answer that question. The dollar store does not say how many dollars. It just says dollar store. As opposed to 99 cents only, which went out of business because your name is 99 cents only. So the moment when you get the things are 109, 129, 139, you kind of then have a false advertising situation.
The moment that store starts taking other currencies only, exclusively, then you have a case. And also, it might be they're going to be like, it's dollar in general, not the Dollar General, like the captain of the dollar. No. It's
generally
$1.
Yeah, around the dollar.
Generally.
Generally $1.
See, that's how you fix it. You just make it $1 generally. That's all you got to do is add an LY.
Dan, I swear to God, this happened to me in real life. I worked for one of the teams I worked for. The general manager asked me what I wanted to be, and I was like, I just want to help the team win championship. And he said, no. Everyone has like their own motivation and stuff. He said, like, for me, example, I'm the general manager. I manage things generally. And I looked at him and I said, "Are you serious?" That was his definition of GM. What's a GM do? I manage things generally.
That's a literal way to looking at it, but I think he's wrong.
The rest of you, I'm curious how the news arrived here with you guys, and this is, forgive the segue here, from light stuff to heavier stuff, but Dwayne Wade, having Dwayne Wade attached to kidney cancer, volunteering that, made me feel some of the same things that I felt when Randy Moss had to leave everything he was doing in broadcasting. It is obviously jarring to me and most of us whenever mortality comes and creeps this close in a way that's this overt, but especially so when it's people that I associate with the highest forms of youth and athleticism. Like when Dwayne Wade, I understand that cancer can come for us all, and many people listening to this have been affected by cancer, and thankfully Dwayne Wade says that the kidney cancer has been removed, but I had trouble processing what it is that I was reading, And it ain't like haven't been near death recently. It's just this particular person representing this particular thing for this market, and it being youth. And I will carry you with free throws past everyone in 2006. It sort of didn't compute. I kind of short circuited on it.
Yeah, Dan, I think the thing I thought of was that because obviously we only found out because Dwayne Wade talked about it on his podcast a year and a half or more later. And it reminded me of, and I thought back to around the time he says this happened, 2023. Did I notice that Dwayne Wade was kind of conspicuously absent or low-key? And I'm like, I don't have any memories. But then it made me think of Chadwick Boseman, who we didn't know was fighting cancer that whole time up until he passed away. And they said, oh, he had cancer? He had aggressive cancer, apparently. But we didn't know. We just thought he was just over the whole Wakanda Forever thing when in all those photos he took with fans and stuff like that. And in reality, no, he's exhausted because of cancer treatments. And that was the thing that really kind of got me thinking, like, wait a second. Dwayne Wade's been walking around, making appearances, TV, as owner of the Utah Jazz, all those things, and we just didn't know that whole time he was dealing with this.
As competitive in his post-career as he was during his basketball career, Dwayne Wade has been, gluttonous about consuming opportunities and competing in the content space for I'm still Dwayne Wade that has value. I didn't see him disappear either. The work can help in those circumstances. The busy can help. It can keep you it can keep you sort of medicine every day to be getting up for something when you're scared.
Except you got to, I mean, that's some real strenuous work conditions to be. I'm working while I'm trying to beat cancer.
So were his previous work conditions. Like, I'm not saying he was sick.
Too.
Yeah.
But we knew that he was making his final album, and that it was like a love letter to his fans to kind of explain to them what was happening.
Yeah, that's scary. I mean, anytime that you have like your heroes, it's like I obviously being a football player and you hear so commonly about the health risks of football, and when you're playing, you're so like laser focused and it feels so far away. And I'm at the age now where I start to hear about teammates who are sick or teammates that passed away. And when you get to that moment where it's like, whoa, these are guys, it's not an old guy thing anymore. Yeah. These are guys that were in the locker room with me. It does hit you like much different. And when you hear D Wade talk about it, it kind of felt like that, because it's like, to your point, this is at times the Superman.
You know, the crazy one about that, Andrew, is we get a lot in the NBA where guys, because they are large human beings, their heart just gives out. And everyone always seems to think, oh, it's a retired guy. You know, you probably let yourself go. And I'm talking like Sean Rooks is the name that always comes to mind. Yeah. Sean Rooks was a dude that didn't eat well, eat clean, right? He didn't smoke, he didn't drink, exercise all the time, right? And he was on a coaching staff, which means every year, you know what happens at the first day of training camp. What do? We all do physicals, right? Yep. Everybody, staff, players, everything. So this is someone not only doing all the right things as far as how to live a healthy lifestyle, but was getting the checks and balances on at least a yearly basis, regularly. Yeah. And then it's just like that. And that's the stuff that it's kind of humbling when you think of just the mortality of it. Man, there ain't no control we have over any of this stuff, man. Sure, we can do certain things, but you don't control it.
Yeah, no, man.
You're just trying to mitigate risk is what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I've had moments where I've had health scares, like in retirement, and to your point, coming face to face with your, the potential of mortality is very, very heavy.
I'm just grateful that Dwayne Wade spoke about this so publicly. You know, down here in Miami, obviously Alonzo Mourning went through issues with his kidneys as well. And, Dwayne Wade talked about Alonzo and all of this, and Alonzo still spends time being an advocate for people to get checked out. And, Dwayne Wade here with another example of like, we as men in particular are often kind of taught to kind of mask pain, whether that's emotionally or physically, and like him sort of saying, hey, I was going through some issues, so I went to the doctor and I wanted to get checked out, and I found it necessary, and they found something that could have been deadly to me, is I think going to make a huge impact on so many people who will now go get themselves checked out. So I thank him for that.
I don't want to play doctor or diagnose. I will just tell you in the history with this organization, the reason Alonzo Mourning learned that these kidney ailments affect black people disproportionately. The way that he learned what was connected to his kidney issues was the amount of pain medication he was taking every single day in order to do his job. Just the way he was popping Advil. Ricky Williams speaks of being on the team plane and just a tray coming by of just an assortment of things that you couldn't normally get to heal your body. Is it unfair to wonder, without a diagnosis, like just the cost of medicating to keep getting out there on the body in retirement?
Anti-inflammatories is what was linked to kidney disease and kidney failure. Yeah. Larry Johnson famously stopped taking anti-inflammatories because of what happened to Alonzo Mourning, and his career overnight went to almost hit a wall because his back was completely messed up from earlier back surgery, and so he needed that just to feel loosened and
You'll
play.
do anything for relief from the pain.
Yeah, and I think more than that, you'll do anything to complete your job at the best that you can because that's how you're trained. I took a lot of anti-inflammatories. I'll go on record in saying that. Like, I literally could not.
Tell me the most you've ever taken, like, in one sitting.
It's hard to say because it's like you don't even think about it like, oh, how many pills are there? Yeah. You start to just take I felt best. I took this amount yesterday, right, and I didn't feel perfect.
So you add some more.
add a little bit more, right? So
5?
I've taken 6 Advil.
6 Advil.
8 Advil.
8?
Yeah, like it's, 800s. You take Voltaren.
Look at what he was doing.
Voltaren. You take
big-ass horse tabs.
Toradol. Like I couldn't play a game without Toradol. And it got banned by the league.
You got shot
eventually, but yeah, you get a shot or you get a pill because honestly, it's like I'm 5'7", 180 pounds. Physics will tell you if Ray Lewis hits me, it's going to hurt. And I can't do my job if I hurt. So Toradol will mask the pain for a couple of hours so that when he hits me, I get up and talk my trash, but the very next play, I'm still the same receiver.
Pre-game?
And literally, yes. I could not play a game without I got to Cleveland. First game, me, Dante Whitner, Carlos Dansby. Free agents to the Browns. Game 1, we go to the training room, drop our pants. We're like, they're like, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, they didn't know what you were.
And we're like, time for the shot, right? Like we had gotten to a group and we're like, hey, let's just go in now. We get it out the way and let it start to kick in. They were like, yeah, we don't do that here. And we were like, how the hell are we supposed to play in an NFL game without tour? But it was banned, and it was like they wouldn't do it. So yeah, it's a tough business. It hurts as much as it looks, and you got to get through it because that's what you're getting paid for.
I'm just thinking of the poor team doctor, trainer, whatever, sitting in his office like, all right, guys, game day. Let me look up some last things. And here come the 3 new guys. All right. Just like,
just bent over.
It's my experience. You tell me if I have this wrong because you're mentioning just 3 guys. It's my experience that that's more common than not, that guys needed the Toradol in order to get out on the field most weeks.
Yes.
The majority of players. It wasn't it wasn't you and 3 guys. The majority of football players when this was allowed needed something to mask the bodies screaming.
At that time, it was me and the 3 guys that were new to the locker room and we didn't know what this organization's rules were.
Right.
So to us, we had come here and we're more old school players than probably the guys that they had in the locker room at that time. And this was a part of our process, So
what was that like the first time you had to play without Toradol? After you've experienced the bliss of Toradol, now it's like it's banned. Hey, you got to just go out there and play.
It would literally ruin your whole week because your recovery is slower. The pain hurts a little bit more, and even in the game, it just. To your point about when you stop taking it, you tank. Try to do anything in pain. You're going to be worse at it.
Right.
So you do as much as you can to mask the pain. I limp down steps right now like I'm 70 years old in the morning because of the scar tissue in my ankle, and I could not have been the player I was without a painkiller or Voltaren to keep the swelling down because it's impossible.
Can you explain something to me? Because you mentioned Ray Lewis here. I read his biography. It's got some holes in it in some key places. But I read his biography, and he was talking about how he physically became who he became. And it's at least in part because since high school, he was taking a deck of cards, throwing card by card on the ground, and when it was a face card, he'd do 10 push-ups, and he would do it that way, and he would do it through the entire deck. And he is the only player that I've heard of in the modern age that everyone talks about that way, which is when he hits you, it feels different than when everyone else in the world hits you. And I'm wondering if that's actually factual. Like when you say Ray Lewis, are you grabbing a random name, or does him hitting you, does it feel different than everyone else hitting you?
I wouldn't say different than everybody else. There are a lot of players that when they hit you, it hurts. Now, Ray Lewis is, for me, like that good middle ground of, yes, he can hit you. Like Terrell Suggs can hit you. The chances of Terrell Suggs catching me is a little lower than me catching the ball and not seeing Ray Lewis coming, or Troy Polamalu. Troy Polamalu probably, in my career, hit me the hardest. That hurt the worst. He was a torpedo, and it's not a strength thing. Like, yes, strength is a faction of it, your speed, your acceleration, all the science. And then there are just guys who know how to maximize the impact of their body against another body better than most. And Troy Polamalu, Ray was really good at that. There are certain guys that I would get hit by. Ed Reed would hit me, and I was never like, he didn't break through the Toradol. Polamalu broke through the Toradol. It was like, okay, this
about James Harrison.
This one is immune to this. James Harrison, yes, he would kill you, but James never got me. And I would actually talk a lot of crap to James Harrison. It was almost like a game of chicken.
He was actively trying to kill the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, he was trying to kill
Were you there when he killed Josh?
I was not. I was in Cincinnati when he killed Josh. And then he signed to Cincinnati my third year there, so we played together. And then
would he talk openly about how he was trying to kill other people on the field?
Yeah. No, he talked about he had a plan. Like, it was like he had it written out, and
so it was premeditated.
Yes, murder one.
Yeah. He was like, I'm going to catch a body today. And I'm like, all right, well, glad you're on my team this year. So then for the rest of my career when I played against him, I would egg it on. I got a really bad concussion versus the Steelers in 2015 where I get hit and I come to, it was like the third quarter, like 3:45 p.m. I get hit. The next moment, I remember it's midnight. I'm in the hospital. Like, that's
no, come on, man.
Swear to you.
Come on, man.
I'm like, Mom, what are you doing here? Right? Like, it was like the last play. I was on the field, and this time I'm in the hospital. But in that game, I was talking so much shit that the defensive play to James, they were like headhunting me because I was like, it don't matter. You ain't going to catch me. And, of course, Johnny throws a pick. And I turn around, and here comes I believe it was Jarvis.
They're all looking for you. As soon as
whoever the D
they're all
every one of them on film, you can see the moment the pick happens, they all are trying to find me. He catches me, straight launch, helmet to helmet. Next thing I know, I'm at UPMC Medical. In a hospital gown.
Can we please call him? I'd like to call somebody who was on that field to just get a recollection of how quickly all 11 of them turned around to go find out where Hawk was. Who's that guy who's been like a fly around an elephant's tail just annoying us loudly all game?
They wrote articles on Pittsburgh blogs like detailing the sequence of events. Like, here's Hawkins after a catch, jumping up, talking trash to James Harrison. Here's where he flinches at another DN who is 6 feet bigger than him, and then here is the actual hit in question.
I like that there's someone like in a darkened room with a slideshow, like picture one, like Hawk talking.
Well,
picture
when you mention that, when he mentions Polamalu, I've almost got a word association that I do with this because
shampoo.
I want to ask. No, not shampoo. You've been doing nothing but muttering uselessness under my breath every time I talk that we can't understand what you're saying. When you make the jokes, they're only for you. Polamalu, when I think of him, the thing that I think of is other football players saying, and Andrew Gase saying, of Peyton Manning. He was prepared for every single situation that there could be in the sport, except how Polamalu played it. That strategically he would consistently be baffled that person was taking that chance in that spot because it was irresponsible to his job.
He was clearly head and shoulders above the competition.
There it is. I like that. But that is both of those things are fact because when we would watch him on film, we would go into those games and I mean, Jay Gruden was our OC, and he would straight up say, like, hey, there's no rhyme or reason to anything this dude does.
Robert and Kirk.
Huh?
That's his fake Jay Gruden. It hasn't made an appearance in a while. You're allowed to be surprised by that.
Okay.
It's a very limited impersonation. And
I can hear it, though. Now
Where are my quarterbacks at, man? Robert and Kirk.
That's good. That's not bad,
Where's
actually.
Robert?
Now that I have the context.
It's a little flaky, not like Troy Polamalu, though.
No. Okay, I like what you did there. Troy was great, though. He would literally, on any given play, take a chance that you had never seen on film. And honestly, a lot of that was in large part to Ryan Clark, who was kind of the by-the-book safety. And the way he played was another way we would be baffled by two things. We'd be baffled by Polamalu when he decides to take those crazy chances. And Ryan Clark had this weird way of diagnosing run or pass before anybody else that it felt like cheating. And I never quite figured it out. And I've asked him, and he hasn't given me, but it was like on film, it would be like, how do you know so quickly what this is?
Yeah, like you say, Troy's taking crazy chances, but for him, it's probably just rinse and repeat, right?
Yeah. When he says never quite figured it out, I'm guessing that Andrew Hawkins here has never quite figured out that limited fake Jay Gruden, if I have the proper context, was once playing hide and seek here. He was playing hide and seek. So you tell me, Hawk, how accurate this is. Sound that we wrestled away from ESPN.
John and Jay, Mike playing John, me playing Jay.
Yes, of John and Jay Gruden playing hide and seek. Are they as adults? Please give me the context I need here.
I'm trying to just listen.
Yeah, well, this was all improv. You know,
Okay,
we had a Jay Gruden that was really good at saying Kirk, so we decided to run with
we
it.
built the whole thing around here are Jay and John Gruden playing hide and seek. I thought it was Marco Polo.
I love slants, man. Oh, wow.
That's what they're sponsoring. Yeah.
Wait a minute, was that you or Gruden who just did that?
I love slants, man. Wow. No, I love my brother, man. He's over here, actually. He's looking for his quarterback over here.
Yeah, where's Robert and Kirk?
I love that, man.
Facts and Info's limited fake Jay Gruden. It's just too obscure.
Very limited.
Where's Robert and Kirk?
Why is he? He doesn't know where they are? Like that's all you've got.
Where they at, man?
Okay.
I'll help you look for him, man.
Robert, Kirk.
So wait a minute.
Robert, Kirk.
I should hold a camp, man, to find your quarterback.
This is the Gruden brothers. What would it sound like? Let me do this another way. What would it sound like if the Gruden brothers were teaming up to play hide and go seek?
I love that game. Hey, you count, okay? I'm going to go run.
1, 2, 3.
Don't forget about 4. I love 4.
4. Robert.
I'm out here playing with your quarterbacks, man.
Ready or not, man. Here I come.
Try to not look under the...
Hey, I see you, man. Tag, man.
Who'd you see? Fat Rob?
Fat Rob?
Yeah, okay. So stupid. Oh, my God. It's a good QB room. RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
That's solid, man. That was an incredible impersonation. As someone who played under Jay Gruden for 3 years, that is an undercover, spot-on impersonation.
The world's only one.
Or Robert and Kirk.
The world's only Jay Gruden. I've never heard anyone ever impersonate Jay.
I want to play for you guys some sound here we haven't gotten to during the week. It is in Spanish, and it sounds like a walk-off situation, but it is not a walk-off situation.
That is hugely key.
Yeah, I need to point out to everybody that everything that's happening in this Dominican baseball clip, and my God, are these fun atmospheres to be a part of when Dominican players care about these games. There's so much personality on these games, but this is the top of the ninth inning.
4-3 en el juego. Jairo Asensio, el líder en juego salvado de todos los tiempos. Duro por el center field. No. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Lo hizo otra vez. Óigame, señores. ¿Qué palo ha dado este muchacho?
Dale un cuadrangular a tu salud con los medicamentos genéricos Línea Azul. Línea Azul, producto con
I
calidad
love him as a player. I watched him play so much third for the Rays.
He's now rounding second.
For the audio audience, this hitter is like pumping up the crowd. He's like skipping the entire way.
It looks like
just got to third. He's stopped at third.
Big hug for the third base coach.
He is now walking from third to home. Soft jog.
This reminds me of what cornerbacks do when they're beat by a receiver and the quarterback overthrows them and it's an incomplete. And then they celebrate like it's just like they
I
just
locked him down.
Locked down.
Again, top of the ninth. Not a walk-off.
It was amazing because he hits, and before he gets to first base, the entire team has come out.
Everyone gets a high five
on the first baseline side, and they're all just, and he literally stands still. He's not like jogging and shouting him out. He just stands there. What's up now? What's up? It reminds me of Peter Warwick in the Sugar Bowl. Y'all want me to end this shit right now?
Again with Peter Warwick.
Dude, it's one of the. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. There's like I think every person has like 3 to 5 athletes in their life. That's like. It doesn't matter what their actual ranking is in the sport. It's like, no. In that moment, you're like, that's
the guy.
There's no, you cannot tell me a football player that I feared more than Peter Warwick.
Wow.
That was the pinnacle of football. And everything else after that, I was like,
to be better than everyone in Florida at Florida football is what he was getting a lot of credit for. He wasn't quite the pro that he was as a college player. What's the best you've ever felt in one of these situations where...
What, middle of the game?
Well, just not even middle of the game, just an athletic feat that swells through you with so much energy that it's this thing we talk about. It's one thing to win, but to be the reason for winning and then to share that with your teammates, even though it's the top of the ninth, to share the reason for, I'm the reason we won, and all of the defiance that comes hissing out of you because you're the most competitive of people.
Yeah.
Like, where is your highest feeling on this?
Probably date October 20th, 2011. Johnstown, Pennsylvania, Mayor Tregonia walks up to that podium. Hear me out. He utters the word. Johnstown's favorite son. The feeling that goes through your veins to know that this day is cemented and forever yours to own through life's history. There will never be a day that people won't look back at October 20th, 2011 and think of me.
Would you like to know what ChatGPT
Smiles
says?
and glory holes, baby.
ChatGPT says, I asked it, what is your signature moment in your career? And it came back with September 16th, 2012. You were playing against the Cleveland Browns. You caught a 50-yard game-winning touchdown.
Man, that's not wrong. If I gave you the true answer, okay, ChatGPT, they're 1 for like 10 today. But that one is right.
That was a
Look at this. It goes on to add, he weaved through multiple defenders with his elite speed and agility.
Such a great highlight.
Securing a game-winning score in a 34-27 Bengals victory.
There's so much to that play, you know? Here's a couple of things, and I don't want to ramble, but I will. I don't want to be look at me, Louis, but let's take this moment to look at me, Louis. Trying to get to the NFL, Ray Farmer was like an assistant GM or like a front office personnel at the Kansas City Chiefs. And he told my agent he doesn't quite have enough juice for his size for them to give me a workout. So they didn't give me a workout coming from Canada. I go to the Bengals. He's now front office for the Browns. This is, I think, our first or second game of the season, maybe game number 2. It's the fourth quarter. We're in a division battle. They throw me this ball, and it is a highlight. Please go look up this touchdown. It's the best touchdown I've ever scored. It was my first ever NFL touchdown. My son was born in February. This is his first ever NFL game. Little baby with the headphones on. My whole family is there in the audience, and I scored this essentially touchdown that sealed the deal. Not only that play is why Ray Farmer, who became the GM of the Browns, ended up signing me away from the Bengals as a restricted free agent, because he was like, you know what? We messed up. We're going to get you here. And that touchdown, he referenced it all the time. There is no better feeling in the world.
Yo, this cut that you make is ridiculous.
It is. It's like, it puts on full display what the Andrew Hawkins
This is Peter Warwick. This is a Peter Warwick touchdown. This is crazy.
It is. It's a nice one. Humbly.
It's crazy because
you made 5 dudes miss.
The way you describe it, not the actual play, but describe all the ramifications, it is clearly the most important to your life like most important moment of your entire life.
It is.
This is what made you millions of dollars and
Literally
allows you to sit right here and crack jokes about having a day
about anything.
This is kind of a dumb throw by Andy, but it's an absolute rocket that he throws to you.
Snagged.
Yeah.
And then your boy just did the rest. I always say that scoring a touchdown is the second greatest feeling in my life. NFL touchdown, it is.
So sex is first?
Well, I was going to say my
thing.
day, but sure, be inappropriate, Dan, whatever you're into. But yes, no, sex number one. Touchdown, NFL touchdown, no greater feeling.
Poor number 27 on the Browns here. I mean, you worked that guy.
Hey, yes.
I missed the second one. Hold on.
He loves what's happening right now because it looks like proof of what he's been saying, that he was the quickest man in the
You're
world.
quick, huh?
He's been trying to tell
now
everybody.
You get it.
He's been trying to tell everybody since he got here. Do you guys know how quick I am? Why do you keep disrespecting
I don't think you've seen
my
the film.
athleticism?
Your first touchdown.
First touchdown.
Downhill from there, huh?
Oh, man. You make a bunch of millions,
when
and
your
then you
first
dip.
one is your best one, they're all downhill from there.
Yeah, he's not wrong. The Toradol was flowing that day.
You
baby.
were really good
Those
at
ankles were
sports,
loose.
huh? Good Lord.
Those ankles were loose that day, baby.
I just watched it, and all I'm imagining is that he can't feel anything.
It's out there just gliding.
Just high
Just
as hell.
floating. It's levitating. It's whatever monks do in order to get off of the ground when they reach a prayerful state.
I didn't go to
showing Dan
sleep
now.
that night till 4:30 in the morning.
There you go. Dad.
Partly because the Toradol had me wired. The other part was I sat up and watched every highlight that they talked about
Yeah,
it.
oh my God, that's got to be the cool part, right?
Yeah, Stu Scott was on the call.
Yeah.
That's got. I'm watching it.
Crazy, right?
It's
Yeah,
insane.
man, it was
And like that's the part that I think. Like I've only obviously been tangential, right? Where they're talking about us, but it's nothing I did, right?
Right.
But the part, Dan, where you win a big game, you have a great game, that's awesome. But then when you go home and say, let me see what these bastards on SportsCenter are talking about.
Yeah.
Just turn it on, and you watch it on repeat. You know how they repeat the SportsCenter after something?
Were you
I'm
play of
watching
the
it.
day? Did you get in the top 10? Did that play get into the top 10? Like, where?
Oh yeah, Rich Eisen called me the human joystick. Who else? Stu Scott was on the call and said something like this dude moves like butter, which was like, come on, man. Stu Scott on the call.
on
Coach
the roll.
Dungy was like, man, I love this kid.
Chris Berman was like, what?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
man.
was.
You were
it-
getting
I
all
mean,
the compliments.
dude.
Oh my God.
You
Whoop!
talk about
you got a
euphoria.
whoop? Did you get a whoop?
I'm sure I got a
Of
whoop.
course he did.
It was like the highlight of the day that
deserved-
NFL
that deserved-
Sunday.
Got a nickname? Hershey Hawkins.
It deserved a whoop.
A couple of
It was
them.
earned.
There's a couple of them in there, man. The
No,
little
that was
sides.
just that was just a one. It was
Oh,
just
no.
one. There was
There's
just
the
one.
cut,
There was
and
no-
then there's
no,
the-
there was
There
one
was-
whoop. No, there was not. There were not. Look,
Hit
look,
every button on the Madden controller.
It's a great play,
Just mash it.
worthy
up.
of one whoop.
It was at least two whoops.
I think he
yeah.
gets two whoops.
It was
was
at least
two
two
whoops.
whoops.
It's two whoops.
This is not an indictment of the move.
Kinda sounds
It's
like
a
it.
celebration of the whoop. It's respecting the whoop.
Come on, man. I think you're disrespecting the play.
Because
I think it's a little disrespectful of the play.
there's the first cut that he makes, and then there the sidestep to come back to the inside and going this way.
To downplay this play and then applaud Stugotz
I'm not. Wait a
for the
minute.
best
I'm
no-name
not downplaying it.
American football
To give it-
podcast
to give
done
it-
by a white dude in Florida.
To give it one whoop is a compliment. It will never be an insult. You got one whoop. It's enough.
And he wants two.
Which one
I
are
think
you
I
calling
earned
the
two.
whoop?
The first
cut?
the first cut. Look, the second cut was beautiful. He will tell you that nothing has ever felt greater in his life, not crossing that goal line, than that first cut and how it looks on the video now.
There was a solid 4 cuts.
Agreed.
2 of them were whoop worthy.
No, they were all
The
great
L1
cuts.
button sidestep to the left on a safety.
That shit crazy, man.
You've never even seen that really done in a game at that speed.
In my mind, you said whoop as you did it.
Yes, bro. Oh, what a play.
And if-
I'm just running for my life, by the way. Like, in the middle of the play, I'm not like, oh, I'm balling. It was like, oh, my God. Oh my! I'm about to score! Oh shit! Oh God! Woo! Play it cool. And then I stare down the audience as if I meant to do that.
It was so you're telling me there was no big picture. It was just I can't get tackled by him. Oh, I can't. Like, wait a second. Is that the end zone?
The first sound he made did sound like fear to me.
Yeah. I'm blindly running in the middle of the field. This play has been going on for 6 seconds. Somebody's about to kill me. There's one cut that I think the second cut that I make is actually on my own player, but I thought it was a defender.
The colors are.
So he's coming to block. I thought he was coming to hit me, and I got scared and cut. So it looked sweet, but I was like, ah! Oh, that's Brian. Hey, get him for me.
That should be a rule against having the same color helmets. Because it's like, it's orange, there's this brownish orange.
History. You ready for some football history? Do
Yes.
you guys do a football history show here?
We'll
You
start.
should. Football history of why both the Browns and the Bengals have orange helmets. Essentially, they took the Browns from Paul Brown. Okay? He was very upset at it. He was pissed. So much so, he's like, I'm going to start another team in Cincinnati, and I'm going to give them the same orange helmets out of spite. So we would get this speech every first day of camp from Mike Brown about his dad and how they became the Bengals. Now, they eventually added the stripes, but that's why they also had the orange helmets to stick it to the Browns organization.
You guys just saw a moment of great athletic grace that was amazing to watch. And the way he described it is the way the sound would be made by somebody in a kitchen jumping away from a rat to jump onto a chair. He was terrified the entire time he was running out of there. It was the sound you and I would make if we were trying to tiptoe through that, like, ah, ah, ah.
That is the NFL experience. You want it.
That was the